What's to do?
Oh, they're only shut, aren't they? Hey, is it today Gazette comes out, or is it Thursdays?
What about my breaker? Open up in there, will you?
Well, it's not there.
Come on, open up!
Carry on like that, you'll have that door off its hinges.
What about my bacon butty?
Oh, don't you ever think of nothing but your stomach, Stanley? Any road, I thought your elder had banned you from eating here.
Only me breaks, not me breakfast. Cafe open 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's nearly 8:30 now.
You're in for a new sensation then, aren't you, old lad? It's called hunger.
Mrs. Mavis we're talking about, you know. Not a load of hippie squatters.
It's my flat you were talking about, are you? The one that you unwittingly left behind my back.
Listen, flat were empty. You needed a tenant, she needed a roof over her head. Seems to me like I've done all concerned a great favour, only you're too pig-headed to admit it.
What you have done, love, is landed me with a sitting tenant on a fixed rent. That is what you have done, my darling.
Mavis?
Exactly.
Oh, come on.
She's not altogether stupid, you know. I mean, she knows how much you were forking out for that rent. And as no one told her any different, she thought that she was going to pay the same. I was hoping to get another £4 a week out of that place, you know. That chance I've got now.
Could you really have got that?
Of course, a lick of paint here and there. Of course I could.
Well, we'll just have to put it to her. And if she still likes the place enough, she'll have to pay extra.
She can't, can she?
Well, she's got no flipping choice, has she?
It's the law that gives her the choice, not me. I'm only the flipping landlord. Anyway, I know how much she gets paid every week because I make her wages up, don't I? There's only one way she could afford that place, and that's if I was to give her a rise, and even you must see that that'd defeat the object.
Oh, all right. Don't drop the eyes. I've got the message.
Hooray.
We'll just have to talk to her, that's all. We'll talk her out of it.
We?
You, then.
You got us into this mess, darling. If there's any talking round to be done, you're the one who's going to do it.
As you like.
You think you could?
Me against Mavis. Hardly a contest, is it? It's more of a pushover. Any road, until you get your millionaire tenant, it's going to be very useful having Mavis living there. Something which my lord and master seem to have overlooked.
How?
Like her being on hand to do the papers in the morning while certain folk lie warm in bed.
You got a thought there, you know.
I know. Don't walk in it, folk, now.
Don't you ever flip in knock, Langton?
That's what I've been doing.
Well, knock a bit harder next time.
It's cabin door I've been knocking at, trying to get somebody to flaming answer.
Cabin?
Well, Mavis there.
Well, if she is, she's playing hide and seek. Place is locked up like Fort Knox.
Oh, silly cow, I've overslept.
Well, you better get round there and wake her up, hadn't you?
Good morning.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Oh, it's getting too, is it?
And how?
Yes, well, never mind, Chuck. You and I'll drown our sorrows together.
I can't.
Oh, don't tell me you're giving up drinking tea as well as fags.
Look, every time I have a cup of tea, I want a fag. So I reckon if I don't have the tea, I won't want the fag. But I still want one.
Yeah, well, I suppose there must be some sense in that somewhere.
Oh, come on, face sake. If Elsie can do it, you can.
Of course you can.
It's not human. It is not human for a hardened smoker like you to go without a cigarettes in the morning. It is not human.
It's just simply a matter of willpower, that's all.
So you keep telling me.
Look, it's just a matter of digging your heels in, putting your back up, and come what may, refusing to give in. That's all there is. It's that simple.
Well said, Elsie. I do it all the time with fellas.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, cigarettes are finished, kaput, gone. As easy as that.
For you, maybe. For us lesser mortals, it is a different story.
Look, I thought you had more stamina than that. You were made as stern as... What's that?
Yogurt, wheat jam, honey.
Where is my egg and bacon?
Elsie, if you knew how much saturated fat and cholesterol there was in one rasher of bacon, let alone...
Gail, I don't know, and I don't want to know. All I care about is having a decent breakfast and getting to work on time. Now, where is it?
Elsie, there's no point in giving up smoking to save your lungs if you're going to ruin your digestive system by eating all the wrong food.
Now, you're a smug little devil, you are.
Only trying to look after your health, Elsie.
Look, I'll make a deal with you. You look after your health and I'll look after mine. And if I see any more of this muck on the table, you'll be in jeopardy. So be warned.
It's 9 o'clock, do you realise?
You've told me 6
9
times.
o'clock, which is 2 hours after these have been marked up and sorted and delivered.
Well, it's
nervous strain.
What is?
Why I overslept. It must be after all the aggravation yesterday. It's the only explanation.
Well, it's a pretty feeble explanation. I have just passed a deeply grieving Stan Ogden out there who said he'd been hammering on that door for 20 minutes. Didn't you hear him or what?
Yes, I thought I heard something.
I thought I heard something. Well, why didn't you stir your stumps and come down and let him in?
It sort of merged in with what I was dreaming, you know, the knocking sound. Do you ever have that, where reality kind of merges in with what you're dreaming?
You wish you were dreaming if you don't hurry up and get dressed and help me deliver these. That is, if anybody still wants them.
Do you know, I dreamt I was living on this caravan site and it was all run down and grotty and it were raining all the time. And all I could hear was the thump, thump, thump of the rain on the caravan roof.
It's a bit pipes.
Pardon?
Pipes in bathroom. They always make that noise.
Can't something be done to stop them?
Well, no, not unless you change the entire plumbing system.
Oh, well, I suppose I'll just have to get used to it then.
And damp.
Damn.
In kitchen. Hadn't you noticed? Oh, walls pour with it sometimes. Oh, it's a regular little Niagara
I
sometimes.
haven't seen any damp.
Electrics. Lethal. That's the only word for it.
Why?
Well, I don't know. But if you go and plug summit in, make sure you're earthed. Otherwise, you'll go up in a puff of smoke. I kid you not.
Dear.
Oh, it's a death trap. I would like to get out of it. I mean, it's all right for a night or two, as a stopgap, you know, like you want. But permanently, I wouldn't dream of letting my best friend stay there. No way.
You're not trying to put me off it, are you, Rita?
Hey, wasn't it me that offered it to you in the first place?
Well, yes.
Well, then, I tell you what. You go and get dressed, and we'll have a look in Gazette at flats to let and see if we can find you something better. Well, go on before I change my mind and let you risk life and limb up there. Hello, love.
Oh, you're looking very pleased with yourself.
Well, without wishing to appear smug, I've every reason to be. Oh, ain't she a little poppet? Why did they have to grow up?
To help support their old mums, that's why. Has the Gazette come in yet?
Gazette. No, love. No.
Does come in Wednesday, doesn't it?
Well, strikes and weather permitting. It should be in later today if you want to call for it.
We might just do that small thing, mightn't we?
Hey! Don't you have it delivered?
Well, we do, but as I was passing,
This wouldn't have anything to do with that baby competition, would it?
Baby competition?
The one with a weekend for two in London as first prize.
Oh, that one?
That one?
No, nothing to do with it at
Of
all.
course not,
No,
no.
as a matter of fact, we only entered her for a laugh, didn't we?
Of course you did.
If you want to know the truth, we don't even agree with baby contests, do we?
And do you always agree with everything your mother says?
Anyhow, what can judges tell from flipping photographs?
Did you not photograph well then?
Oh, photogenic's not in it, Mrs. Sharples. There's some focus the camera loves and them it don't. Tracy just happens to be one of them it does.
That's a fact.
Yeah, except when she's bawling her eyes out, that is.
Well, you've got eyes, haven't you? What do you think it is?
I dread to think.
Oh, it's a cleaning mitten. For polishing.
Well, it still looks like a boxing glove to me, Hilda. I'd watch myself if I were you, Stanley. I definitely would. Mind you, if Hilda puts as much power behind a cleaning elbow as she does behind a left hook, you won't feel a thing.
Well, can you or can't you?
And I can't say what?
Oh, it's like talking to the flipping wall. Get us that curtain material.
Oh, consider it got, Mrs. O.
Oh. Gingham.
Hey?
I've thought it over and I want gingham to go on my mural. Or failing that, polka dots.
You're jumping the gun, aren't you? You can hardly use a machine. And you haven't got permission from Mike Baldwin to make curtains.
Look, I made this, didn't I? And as for permission, Stanley, well, you of all people should know, them what ask don't get.
Can't you get the council to help to pay for these here Jubilee celebrations?
It's a very good question, that, Mrs. Sharples.
Which is no answer then, Fairclough.
Ah, now, you know it's a good idea, and I know it's a good idea, but for every one of us, there's a loudmouth somewhere who's going to send, why don't you spend it on improving the streets or cleaning up the streets?
And it's the loudmouths that gets listened to, Len.
Every time, mate.
Has anybody bothered listening to Emily Bishop's idea as to what to put on a float to the Jubilee procession?
Ken Barlow did, Mrs. Sharples. As the organiser, I went over to the centre this morning to have a word with him about it.
What were it again?
It's a float bet showing Britain throughout history, you know. Ken's got it on the shortlist for the organising committee.
Short list, long list. When we have a street party, we organise it for ourselves. We don't get a committee to do it for us.
You know, Fred, I rather fancy myself up on that float.
Why? What else?
Eh?
Well, you've got to go dressed up as somebody from history, bet, haven't you?
Or undressed, as the case may be. Like Lady Godiva.
You wouldn't. Would you?
Patience, Frederick, patience. All shall be revealed in time. How's it going then, you know, smoking campaign?
Don't ask.
Bad as that, eh?
Hell is the word for it, I think. Hey, by the way, Susie's not been in here getting fags on the QT, has he?
Shame on you, Howard. Whatever happened to your faith in human nature?
The same as yours. It died of natural causes.
Are you going home for your dinner? Because I've got 2 chops upstairs if you want one.
No, thanks, love. I better make tracks, or else Len will have given me up as a bad job. That is, if he hasn't already.
You're moving in upstairs then?
Well, I was planning on it, yeah.
Only for a couple of nights, you know. That right, maybe, till she finds something better.
Better?
Well, Rita seems to think it's not right for me. It's got rising damp, apparently.
Yeah, but it's cheap enough, isn't it?
Oh, yes, but...
Well, yes, love. Never mind the rising damp, think of the rising rates. You'll find nowhere else as cheap, you mark my words.
Do you think so?
Oh, look at the times I was looking for a flat for months, if you remember. And the girls are still looking and they've not found anything, or so they say. Oh, no, love, you stick where you... Was it your Auntie Edie's cooking or something?
Amongst other things. Perhaps Elsie's right, Rita, and perhaps I would be better off stopping here after all.
Well, you don't have to decide this minute, do you?
No. In fact, I'm sure she's right. I mean, when all's said and done, you are happy enough here, and what's good enough for you is certainly good enough for me. So let's call it settled then, and I will be staying here after all, eh?
What did I say?
Too flaming much, if you must know.
Me against Mavis, she says. No contest, she says. It'll be a pushover.
I were doing all right, Elsie. Howard shoved a 2pence in.
And what do you propose we do now, then?
Give in gracefully?
And miss out on an extra £4 a week? No chance.
Oh, I'm sick of talking about it. Finish your tea.
Perhaps she'll start pining after Auntie Edie and go back after her own accord, eh?
Well, I wouldn't count on it.
You never know, you look.
Listen, she's just severed the umbilical what's-it, hasn't she? Belatedly, perhaps. But she won't be going back to Auntie Edie, unless it's for some homemade jam. No, we're stuck with her, and we'll just have to get used to the idea.
Not me.
Oh, come on, Len, you said yourself. You can't throw her out, you can't put rent up, you can't set foot in the place without her say-so. Face facts, we have tried and we have failed.
Correction, you have tried and failed.
Do you think you can do any better?
She shall be putty in my hands, darling.
You just listen to your old mum, sweetheart. It's not prettiness in this life that counts. It's character. So even if you did get in the finals of that baby competition, it wouldn't mean out. Anyway, be better off if you don't win. Them folks won't be thinking you're just a pretty face. Anyway, who wants to go to London? Horrible, noisy, crowded place. Oh, we're better off here. Much better off.
Mavis, where art thou?
In the back.
Off you go, and no rough stuff.
Would I?
It has been, no.
Not this time. This time I'm going to treat her with loving kindness.
Oh, hello, Mr. Fairclough.
Hard at it.
Oh, yes, it's this floor. Do you know, it just seems to attract the dirt. And if I don't do it, nobody else will. You can be sure of that. Not that Rita need... Well, I mean, there's no reason why she should clean... It's just that somebody has to do it, so it might as well be me.
And you make a marvellous job of it as well, love.
Well, we aim to please.
Now, just sit down a minute, will you, love? I'd like a bit of a chat. About the flat.
Oh, yes, well, I suppose it is time we ironed out the details.
Well, it's actually the details I want to talk about, you see.
Oh?
I mean, you know what Rita's like. She jumps in with both feet, never thinks about anything, does she? Never asks advice. Because if she asked advice, we wouldn't be in this mess now, would we?
Mess?
About the flat.
Well, are we in a mess?
Yeah, well, let's just say we got a couple of wires crossed, eh? And we need them uncrossing. Like the rent, for a start.
What about the rent?
Well, I don't think you're going to be able to afford it, love. And when you've thought about it, I think you might agree.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Fairclough, but I have thought about it. And, well, £6 a week's fine, just fine.
That's the point, love. It isn't £6 a week anymore. It's 10.
wonder if she'll win it.
Oh, what?
Tracy, win the Jubilee Year Baby contest.
Yeah, well, she has to get into the finals first, hasn't she?
Gazette are running another competition as well.
Oh?
Glamorous granny competition.
So?
Just thought you'd be interested, that's all.
Yeah, well, you thought wrong, didn't you?
Like, Grandma.
But it was £6 a week when Rita lived here.
Ah, yes, love, but that was then.
Oh, you mean that was Rita and she gets special treatment?
I mean what I say, no more, no less. No, you better go in back to your aunties, love. Forgive and forget, eh? That means she can't be all that bad.
Oh, you don't know her. She treats me like a helpless child in what time I should get up, what I should eat and what I shouldn't eat. Well, if you treat it like a child for long enough, you'll behave like one. And the only way I can prove that I'm not one is by leaving her, but by being independent before it's too late.
She's not going to think much of you taking on a place you can't afford and having to go back to her with your tail between your legs, saying you can't cope. Cut your losses, love. Forgive and forget, eh? I'll tell you what, I'll drive you around there myself. Give us a ring at the yard.
Mr. Fairclough, I don't think I've made myself clear. I don't want to go back to my Auntie Edith. I want to stay here.
But I've just explained,
Yes,
love.
and I've just listened. Well, it seems to me, when I come to think of it, I spend my whole life listening to other people's points of view. Well, I've got a point of view of my own, and, well, I know I haven't got anything in writing, and that might go against me, but, well, it seems to me that I've got a perfect right to stay here in the flat at the present rent for as long as I want.
Supposing I say you can't?
Well, I just have to take it to the rent people. Oh, look, couldn't we say £8 a week as a compromise?
That flat is worth a tenner a week, and there's no point in kidding yourself otherwise.
Well, the flat might be, but what about all the inconvenience that goes with it?
Like what?
Like the noisy pipes and the rising damp.
Rising damp? What rising damp?
Not to mention the faulty electrics. Oh, Rita's told me all about it. According to her, the place is an absolute death trap.
Oh, no. Not more rabbit food.
No, they keep the fags at bay. Try one.
No, thanks. I prefer marmite tips. Put that kettle on, will you, love? I'm parched.
How did it go then?
How did what go?
Day 2 without a dragging a cough.
Oh, fine, I think. I hardly noticed it. And you?
Oh, push over. You know, honestly, I think I've got it licked now.
How do you make that out?
Well, all you've got to do is think of all the sordid bits about smoking, like all them dirty ashtrays.
And smelly breath.
And nicotine-stained fingers.
And smelly breath.
Are you trying to make a point, Potter? Do you know, if someone walked through that door now and offered me a fag, I'd tell them what to do with it, honest.
I see. And I was the one that wasn't supposed to be human.
No, as you say, it's all a question of willpower, isn't it?
I see. Gail, I think I'll have that cup of tea in my room. I've gone right off her since she's taken the veil.
Naughty.
Just looking.
8 flaming quid.
Well, you didn't have to accept it. You could have held out for more.
And you didn't have to tell her the place was damp.
I was trying to help.
With that sort of help, I could go bust, darling.
It's not just the money, is it? It's the fact that I did somewhat off my own bat without consulting you first.
It might have helped if you had it done.
Well, just bear this in mind. The reason Mavis is so anxious to get shut of that auntie of hers is because she never trusted her. Not even to put out empty milk bottles at night, let alone make a decision on her own. And it finally wore her down so much that she finally packed her little skip and left. And right at this moment in time, I know exactly how she feels. So let's just close the subject, okay?
Who's the most beautiful girl in all Weatherfield, then, eh? Who's going to win a nice little holiday for a month?
Did it ever occur to you, Ray, that Tracy might not be as perfect as you'd have the rest of the world believe?
Do you hear that, Tracy? That's your man talking. Her what's supposed to be loyal in word and deed.
I'm not saying I'm not. But you are blind to her faults, love, you are really.
What faults?
Well, her runny nose and the rash on her arms, to name but 2.
All babies have them.
Not perfect type babies, Ray. Not cherubic babies who model for rusts and talcum powder and get into the finals of baby contests.
Do you not want her to win, then?
Well, of course I want her to win, but I also don't want to be disappointed, which in this case is practically a guarantee. Now, stop messing about. Come and get your tea.
You do realise it's our daughter you're running down, left, right and centre?
I am trying to be sensible. One of us has to be. She's got a lot of qualities. I'm not saying she's not. But getting into the finals of baby contests is not one of them.
Is that?
So?
Oh, come on, Deirdre.
Come and get your tea.
Oh, this is daft.
Stop faffing about and come and get your tea.
Well, I'm going to check.
Not without me, you're not.
Come on.
Right. I don't believe it. I do not flaming believe it.
Well, if you don't believe me, see for yourself.
Give it us, then.
Well, actually, as you know, only got herself into finals.
And last but not least, contestant number 10, looking none too happy in this photograph, is Tracy Lynette Langton of 5 Coronation Street.
Oh, I'd like to see Deirdre's face now.
Not to mention the proud father. We'll not hear the last of that. You realise that?
Hey, let's have a shove here, then.
Hey, maybe they don't know. I mean, maybe they haven't seen paper
Are
yet.
you joking? The way them two have carried on today, they were probably at the printers waiting for it to come off press.
Well, there's somebody else got herself into the finals here. And she's kept quiet about it, hasn't she?
What final, where?
Oh, glamorous grandmother competition.
Let me have a look at that. The sly cat, would you credit it?
Who is it?
See for yourself.
Ooh, some folk never give up.
Your medical queries answered over on Granada Good Life in a few moments when Dr. Chris Steele opens up his surgery in the Good Life Health Guide. Here on Granada Plus, drama and intrigue in Oz and England. Families after the break.